Hi, Pisces. I was just laughing because this is how tricky our mind can be. I started doing your reading, and all of a sudden, I shift into Spanish, and I completely ended with a Spanish reading. So here I am once again doing it all over again, hoping that this time around I can stick to one language. Anyways, Pisces, thank you for being here once again in another one of your readings where we are connecting with the forces of the universe to receive all of those messages that will help you, specifically to find the clarity. Of course, these are very overall readings that are not going to describe every situation out there. However, the answers can help anyone. So just know that I am not your typical fortune teller. I consider myself an energy reader. So when I do these readings, all I'm really looking for is to what is going on with you. And as I describe it, if this is what you want to continue to create, excellent. But if it's not, your opportunity that you're having with this reading is to change it. All right, my dear Pisces, so let's begin. I also want to thank everyone who's coming to my channel, subscribing, as well as the new people that are coming and stopping by just to hear my readings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So let's begin. And let's hope that I don't do the same thing, Pisces. Oh my God, I just can't believe that I totally forgot. But it's kind of funny. Okay, Pisces. So here you're coming across as the crow. Love this energy. Okay, because here what I'm seeing is that many of you Pisces are taking the time to reflect. In some moments, this reflection can even look as if you are in a state of waiting. But as you are waiting, you're also trying to figure things out. It's like you're taking the time to figure out what to do during these times of changes. But because you have evolved, because you are so knowledgeable when it comes to your emotions that you're able to discern, you're able to contemplate as you wait and as you figure things out. So as I said, this is a very time where Pisces, you're really digging deep within, trying to figure out what to do. And that's how you're coming across. Now, the person that you're dealing with here, Pisces, they're coming through as the dragonfly. This is another energy that can look very mystical, okay? They're perceived as very mystical. But yet, they can also be very much part of this physical mentality where life is all about security. So we're dealing here with two energies where at some level they can see eye to eye, where at other things they can be completely opposite. Okay? As Pisces, as the crow, you're able to fly quite high and see things from very different perspective, while the dragonfly can fly, but at some point they lose their light, they lose their eyesight, and they can get completely focused in a realm that can quite seem one-dimensional. Okay, so when I look at the planets that are supporting you in this moment, Pisces, Pluto comes through. Okay, and this is the planet that rules Scorpio, a family member in astrology. So this is someone that you can totally get along with because you both come with the element of water. And Pluto is dealing here with the 8th house in astrology. Okay, we're talking here about our transformations. How do we change when we start understanding things? And with this Pluto, we're talking about underworlds, okay? We're talking about those planes of existence where the energy could be quite dark. We're talking about our shadow side. So A lot of times it is through those moments where we're pushed to the, extreme, but we get to learn. So we're talking about going deep, right? And understanding the nature of things. Why did we choose what we chose? And here we're talking about the King of Wands. So we're talking about a person that you've been dealing with, which is someone that you had a very strong connection with. And they come with a fire element, but I'm going to say that they also come with a very Scorpion mind, okay? And this person, it got to a point where it was very difficult to be around them because you just couldn't agree, okay? So there was a lot of arguments here with this person where eventually led you to move on. And now you're kind of taking a break, Pisces, trying to figure it out, or maybe trying to reflect why things went, sour. Why didn't they work out? Of course, there's many different situations out there, but the one that I'm picking up is this one. And it is that some of you Pisces are kind of taking the time trying to figure out, what went wrong? And it's not like you're in turmoil right now and you're in that emotional hurt. As a matter of fact, you're in that place where you're like, okay, so what happened? You're being more proactive about what you're feeling. But you're going definitely very deep. Now, when I look at the next card, we have Cancer. And Cancer talks about stability. Family stability is the environment, okay, that we live in, is our home, the things that matter to us. We're talking here about the 4th house. And also comes with the element of water. So emotionally, many of you right now, Pisces, as you are contemplating all of this, you're understanding a little bit better what really is important to you. So sometimes through experiences like this is that we come to realize, you know what, this is way more important to me than that. So here, as you're facing this death, we are faced with, with terms. We got to come to terms with what is happening, okay? And here we could see that as a Fool, you're starting a new cycle, okay? So some of you are forced to start anew in this new cycle where you just don't know what to do. You just don't know. You know that you're starting fresh, but you don't know exactly what to do. You don't know yet what you need to do in order to create a stability. Okay, that maybe part of this breakup had to do with, a husband or a significant other where your finances are changing and you're now like forced to work or forced to make a living. You're like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. In some cases, it's about emotionally. How am I going to live my life as I move forward? What are my beliefs right now? So all we know that in the heart of this reading, Pisces, you are forced to start this cycle. You've begun this cycle where you don't know exactly what to do. You don't know what you're doing. You know that you have to do it, but you don't know what you're doing. And then it comes Taurus, and this is a good thing because this is talking about, look, it's good to understand how you feel, but eventually you're going to have to come back to reality, okay? Eventually you're going to have to come out and demonstrate through your actions what you decided. And this is what Taurus is doing here. Is describing the house in astrology number 2, which talks about what do we do? How do we express who we are? How do we use our intuition? And in the heart of the reading, I see you, Pisces, with the 4 of Swords, taking time to reflect, trying to figure things out, how to create that stability that you need. Once again, here comes a very feminine energy with the Queen of Pentacles. What do I need to do to find again myself in a place where I'm overcoming all of these difficulties. Because you could see that those swords are not touching you. So it's not like you're in turmoil right now. You're just kind of in that questioning mode. You're feeling a little cautious, of course, because you don't know what you're doing. But in some ways, your intuition is helping you a lot, which is what Spirit is saying. You may not see or understand what's happening or what to do in this case to create the type of stability you're looking for. But don't worry, just follow your intuition. The intuition is not going to give you the full story. It's going to give you a little bit in pieces. But don't worry that you are being guided. You're being supported. So here we're, learning about communication, reflecting upon communication. What are the kind of relationships that we've created? How has we done it? And of course, with the hermit, the hangman, we're talking about here sacrifices. Sacrifices that we've had to make in order to gain something. And in some cases, Pisces here, it could just be that right now you have to cut loose people that really matters to you. It could be your children. It could be your, brother or sister. And I don't know why I feel like all of a sudden I'm remembering something from the past. So I don't know if this is something that came out in your reading before. One of the things that happened to me is I'm channeling the information. Once I'm done, that's it. A lot of times I cannot, in some cases I can, but most of the time I cannot remember what I said. So here, all of a sudden I'm feeling like deja vu. Like I've said this to you before. Could be true, could be not. But here we're saying it again. So I'm going to say that in the heart right now of this cycle, you're going through a change in which you're facing the music, you're facing the facts, and you're trying to figure out, and what's next? What's going to happen? Now, when I look at the energy of this person comes across as someone who can seem very stable and somebody that could seem very, it's like, wow, they have an aspect about themselves that brings a lot of security. And yet, this person is in a crossroad. They are going through a crossroad. And in that crossroad, they have to determine what they want to do. If they want to really create some sort of a stability where they are communicating more, or if life, and this is, again, different things that come up. This is somebody that could be very interested in what people have to say about them. So their image is everything. Their social life is everything. So they're basically in that crossroad in which they need to determine if that's the priority or not. And I'm going to clarify it. I want to clarify here these birds, right? Because they're coming here as communicating. It's like they're studying the situation. They're starting to, ask themselves, is this really what I want long term? So let's clarify the birds and see what the birds have to say. And the moon comes out. It's like they don't know exactly what they want to do. This could be someone that you're meeting from long distance. This is somebody that offer love. Or it's someone that you offer them love, Pisces. Someone that you feel very passionate about. And somebody that seemed to be the person, with the qualities that you were looking for, okay? So here you're studying a situation with someone that you feel strongly attracted to, and that somehow you felt like they had all the qualities to create the right situation, at least long term. But you are, they're finding, I should describe it as them because it's the way the cards are showing me them. They're going through a crossroad. They're going through a change, okay, where they're going to have to determine which path to take. And I want to clarify that crossroad. So you see, here we're talking about someone who is going to decide to finally let go, right? To completely let go of of you. Okay, so it's like they have to finally break away from the possibility that things can work out. So they themselves are in a crossroad as you are beginning this time where you're just not very clear what you want. Okay, so in some ways this person is studying the situation and trying to figure it out if, you know, I'm going to say they're trying to figure out what to do, which path to take. Do I move alone? Do I go on my own? Or do I reconsider? Okay, do I reconsider this situation where I give it another go? Because they both are showing, you see, the world just like you are. So they're kind of wondering the same thing, you know, like, what do I do? Is this time to really completely let go? So I don't know, Pisces, exactly what kind of situation you had with this person, but all I can tell you is that right now, the way Spirit is guiding you is that you need to change. Okay, here with the Traveler, it's about letting go of the past. This is the moment where you're being asked to travel through a path that is not the normal one, at least not your comfort zone. And it is through that path that you're going to attract people that are more like you. It is through that path that you're going to reconnect or connect with people that are really going to understand where you're coming from. Very interesting, because here the ancestors also are showing the high priest as well as the sage. So we're talking about two energies, which tells me that you are very mystic, you're very spiritual, and you understand spirit, and you understand how a spirit guides. As we could see here with this high priest, this looks like, I was going to say like the, what is that bird? The owl, but I don't think this is an owl. I don't even know what the heck this bird is, you guys. Maybe the eagle? The condor? I don't know. But all I can tell you is that they're telling me you have visions. You're a visionary. So through dreams or intuition, you're able to know what to do. So why, like fuss about it? Why, get lost? You will know what you need to know when you need to know it, pretty much. And in the way that you're going to become more clear is about doing those practices that are going to help you achieve harmony. Interesting. And with the sage, just talk about, hey, once you make the decision, just stick to it. Stick to it. Because this, the sage talks about devotion. Yeah, it talks about devotion. So if what you're after, Pisces, is growth, well, stick to that. And here is talking about, look, if for whatever reason in the path you're finding people that are teaching you, they're teaching you, to understand the nature of who you are, and then take notes, because one day you're going to be doing the same. Wow, that's pretty powerful. I love the cards you're getting here, Pisces. So you're basically getting the Traveler, which is all about change. And in that change, the focus is on your intuition. Just pay attention to how you're being guided and follow through, because in that path, you will find other people that will guide you as well as support you. So For those of you who are in this particular moment wondering what it would be like, I will say, you know, it's not really that important. I think it's more important how you feel. And just know that all of that desire to reflect is just helping you to find the clarity that you need. But you will. You will. You're getting the help here to once again feel more stable and more grounded. One of the stones that I'm being led to say for you to work with, Pisces, is the lapis lazuli. Very powerful stone when it comes to grounding, but as well as to expressing your ideas. Because I feel like one of the things that sometimes you, I wouldn't say you struggle with, but you just choose not to do, is to communicate. It's interesting because the world of emotions is your reality. I mean, that's the place where you thrive. And yeah, when it comes to communicating it, a lot of times you just don't know how. Or you do know how, it's just that you go so deep into that reality that a lot of times you don't know how to describe it. And this is where a lot of times you lose people, okay? Now, in the meantime, you can be very, very friendly, very loving, and very tolerant. And I feel like I've said this before. So in that place of tolerance, you're being asked, your spirit is asking you that to not tolerate things that are not of your reality or your acceptance, okay? So all I know is that there are some Pisces here that are going through this change, and all you need to know is that as time goes by, you will know what to do because you're being guided, okay? You're being supported along this cycle. With this person, I am going to say that, remember, as a dragonfly, one of the things that happens to them is that they live for a very short period of time. So this is someone who comes with their light and they can make you feel mesmerized. They can make you feel in the top of the world, but then when the fire is gone, that's it. So I feel like that's playing out in this type of in particular situation. So Pisces, just know that this was the best thing that happened to you, and that possibly all of that this person could offer is done. Okay, my dearest Pisces, I hope I was consistent enough to call your name throughout the reading without making you about Virgo. I know that, you know, my concentration is always doing readings for Virgo, but I do choose to do random reading depending on what I'm asked. And in this particular case, you were one of the zodiac signs that was asked for me to read, so this is why I've done this. Okay, my dearest friend, thank you for being here. Remember that the most important thing is to love yourself. And I will see you next time.